Hi, friends.
Hi.
Hello. We are probably not going to wait for people to pop in, because then if you're watching this later, you're going to have to sit around and watch us like hang out for a couple minutes. So we're just going to jump right into it. You should be able to replay this video after we're done if you miss anything. I'm Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Krista.
And we are here to talk to you today a little bit about a video series we have coming up on this page. So about a year ago, we had an idea that there are a bunch of people who don't live in Salt Lake, and so it's hard to come to support groups. And even though this forum is like such an awesome resource for information, there are some people who learn differently and sort of like learning via watching and interacting. Yeah. And so we thought that doing live videos where you guys can like pop in and ask questions and we can talk about different topics would be a really fun little resource for you guys.
Yeah, so we'll probably just end up, this is kind of going to be an introduction video, and then we'll end up like picking a topic and doing a section on that specific topic, and we'll let you guys know what that topic is and then answering questions on that. And they'll probably be 20 to 30 minutes we're expecting.
In the future, we'll give you guys a heads up of when they're going to be, so you can choose to jump in and participate and ask questions.
Yep.
But you'll always be able to watch them later, either in this group or on Amerology.net, which I'm sure Krista will tell you a little bit more about in a second. So I'm going to let Krista introduce herself and just talk about your lens, sort of your poly style, and a little bit about your bio.
Sure, great. So yeah, I am Krista, if you don't already know who I am. I have been identifying as polyamorous for probably about a decade now, but I definitely have had poly tendencies my entire life. So when I found out that polyamory was a thing, it kind of was this awesome weight lifted off my shoulders, and I just kind of fell into this natural rhythm and lifestyle. So I identify as demisexual, and I am attracted to both men and women, kind of on this, on the spectrum. And so that's kind of the lens that I'm coming at for this type of like, sex ed kind of thing. I have served on the Utah Polyamory Society Council for 6 years now, I think. A long time. And I'm kind of wanting to transition more into education. So I've stepped back from my responsibilities from the council a little bit, and I'm focusing on education. So you'll see a lot more workshops coming up, and we have some exciting things coming on with like a partnership with Planned Parenthood and potentially Utah Sex Positive Education, stuff like that. So look out for that stuff. But you can also find a lot of stuff on my website at amerology.net. And I also am trained in instructional design, so I'll be doing like web modules and different stuff like that, as well as these video kind of blogs. The one that I'm working on right now is a gamification of the spoon theory, which is kind of exciting. So if you don't know what that is, check it out later. It's about chronic pain and partners and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from as far as my bio goes. Yeah.
And I'm Kelsey. So I discovered that polyamory was a thing about 10 years ago. Through listening to Dan Savage at Savage Love. If you're not familiar with Savage Love, it's a phenomenal resource. It's a podcast as well as a nationally syndicated column, and you can find it online at, I believe, thestranger.com. And so when I heard the term polyamory, I was like, oh shit, like that's the thing for me. And then spent the next 5 or so years making monogamous commitments that didn't work out so well for me, either hoping my partner would change their mind or thinking, you know, I would really be a better person if I could be monogamous, et cetera, et cetera. So about 5 years ago, I ended a very serious relationship, mostly due to sexual incompatibility, and made a commitment to myself to exclusively practice non-exclusive relationships. And so for the last 5 years, I have done a lot of different type of poly relationships. So right when I started practicing polyamory, I just jumped right in as the third in a hierarchical triad. And sort of since then have moved more towards a model that's closer to relationship anarchy than it is to hierarchical relationships. Although I am married legally to my anchor partner, who is lovely and wonderful. So in addition to that, and sort of my vast experience of, not vast, my shallow 5-year experience of practicing polyamory, I also have had a lot of sex and a lot of different types of sex. Human sexuality, human desire is something I've always been really, really interested in. So I've done a lot of learning about that over the last 10 years. And I have a bachelor's degree in social work. So I know a little bit of information about human development and human psychology and yeah, good stuff for relationships, I think. And yeah, just education and sex education in particular is a passion of mine because I didn't really have any sex education before I started having sex. And I had been having sex for like 5 or 6 years before I ever really knew how to talk to my partners about safer sex, using condoms, the type of relationships I wanted, what was important to me, all that stuff. So I really feel like education is so vital to creating the type of sexual relationships and relationships we want to have.
Yeah, and like in the community as well, I think that a lot of people don't get this type of sex education, and consent education, I think, is like, our society is super fucked up about consent right now. So I think we're taking baby steps to rectify that, but being an advocate and an emissary for other people, I think, is both a passion for both of us.
So as we go through this series, you know, both of us are white cis ladies. So you know, I also identify as bisexual. I really identify as multisexual. My arousal patterns tend to be more activated when I and my partners have multiple sex partners. But I'm like in my own little lens of being a white, middle class, cis, very femme presenting woman in the world. So we plan on, as the series goes along, having other people with other perspectives and other types of relationship styles. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but both, I'm just going to though.
Yeah, no, please.
Both Krista and I sort of lean more towards relationship anarchy than we do towards relationship hierarchies. That doesn't necessarily mean that hierarchical relationships don't work for other people.
And we'll talk about all of this and like what the problems are with both sets of things, because there are problems with everything.
Totally.
Totally.
So, but we want to have a variety of perspectives and experience join us in this little adventure we're going to go on.
So, and on that note, if you're interested in coming on and you feel like you have some perspective to share, please reach out to us. You can reach out to the page, Amorology on Facebook, any of that stuff.
Yeah, you can reach out to our, PMS. Both of us are pretty active in the group. I'm Kelsey Rose. So that's how you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah, and Kristen John, and you can find me on the admins list too, so it's easy. So pretty easy.
Yeah. So what we're sort of thinking for this series, and here's where we really want your input, advice, questions, whatever. First of all, we'd love to hear what you want to hear about. Second of all, we'd love to know when works best for you, because we really do want this to be live and for people to participate so that you can ask questions in real time. But we're thinking our first little module is going to be more focused on sex ed and sexual health. So we'll probably start with talking about cooties and all the different STIs that are out in the world, and then talk about some ways to negotiate sexual health and risk with partners, how to have those conversations, as well as some different ways of having sex that don't necessarily involve penises. Or fingers. Or tongues.
Whatever. We want to just talk about the different ways that pleasure can take in the different form, and even like, you know, non-pleasure pleasure and all that stuff. So we're really excited about that.
So that's our plan. What's next? So like we said, the next episode will give you guys a little bit more about when we're going to schedule it. It's probably going to be in 2 weeks because you're in.
I'm going to Boise for a conference next weekend, so we'll be after that for sure.
So it'll be probably a couple weeks, and our first thing will be all about STIs. So if you have questions about STIs, please do send us a little PM, post a comment here. If you want more of an anonymous question, get in touch with us individually. But
and if you guys have ideas that you want us to talk about, please let us know too.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye guys.